Yuki from Tokyo, Japan writes to me, everyone talks about speaker toe-in like it's a science-measured angle. Laser pointers, math, all that. But I have found it more like trial and error. Sometimes toeing in more improves imaging. Sometimes it gets too harsh. Sometimes less toe-in opens the stage. Sometimes it blurs everything. Is there a right way to do this, or is it purely about listening and adjusting by ear? How do you approach it when setting up a system from scratch? Well, that's a great question. I wrote a whole series of books about it called The Audiophile's Guide. So I do have very strong opinions about it. It is an art, absolutely an art. Now, most people don't have the half century of knowledge that I have about various things. So I can spot a pair of speakers and I look and, okay, we've got dome tweeters, we've got a box. I'm going to be pretty clear about how I'm going to set those up. Or I look at it and I say, aha, pair of magnaplaners. These are panel speakers. They're dipoles. I know right away how the person has towed them in properly, improperly. I can guess. But how many of you can say that you've done this for 50 years like I have, right? You probably can't. And so there are rules to the art form that are going to have to be done by trial and error. So one of the first things you want to make sure that you do is get the appropriate tracks that you can trust, okay? Now that's real important, because imagine if you took a crappy recording that didn't have a good soundstage, that didn't have a good center image, and there are plenty of those. In fact, there are more of those than there are of anything else, right? And you tried to set your system up with that album or this group of albums that had crappy sound. Step number one, don't do that. You can simply, if you don't want to buy one of the Audiophile's guides, that's fine. Just go online, go to Google or ChatGPT, whatever, and ask it to look up Paul's picks. And you'll find a list of tracks that are commercially available. If you want to help support us, buy Octave Records, buy Octave Recordings. They're available for download or physical discs. Go to octaverecords.com and you can always be assured everything recorded here is going to have perfection when it comes to those sorts of things. But, okay, we're trying not to do shameless plugs. We're trying to have a little shame here. So go to find Paul's picks, and if you're streaming something or however you're doing it, you're going to find ones that are readily, easily available. So start with those great tracks. Now you know that that is supposed to sound great. And when it doesn't, you're going to futz around with how close the speakers are together. How far away from the wall are they? From the front wall, the wall behind them. Because you got to have a little space. More for a dipole, less for a box, but you still got to have that space. How much toe in? How far away are you seated? All of that just makes a huge amount of difference. And if you don't want to buy the books, I'm sure there's plenty of online guides you can get for free that'll help you out. But yes, it's more of an art than it is a science. And all you need to do is learn a few of those artistic tricks, and life will be good in the imaging department. Okay? All right. Thanks.